Hey, it's Monday, November 25th, 2019, and it's time for the Monday News Brief. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Monday News Brief brought to you by CDTTV, a part of the Central Dakota Times. I'm your host, Nate Iverson, and in this week's episode, we're joined by Chamberlain Community Thanksgiving dinner chairperson Jim Bregel. Jim is going to be sharing some of the details for the dinner this upcoming Thanksgiving, as well as sharing some of the background of the dinner itself and what it takes to organize such a large event. Also, if you enjoy some of this content and want to see more of what we have to offer online, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Central Dakota Times Newspaper. We're also available on social media on Facebook by searching Central Dakota Times and our website, www.centraldakotatimes.org. And as always, be sure to pick up your very own copy of The Central Dakota Times every Wednesday mornings wherever newspapers are sold in Central South Dakota. Let's get to it. It is Monday morning, CDTTV. We are here with Mr. Deacon Jim Bregel. Jim, how's it going?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Before we get started, I obviously know you very well over the years, but for some of the community members and viewers that don't know you, can you tell me a little bit more about yourself?
I sure can. So my name is Jim Bregel. I've been in the community in my 39th year.
Okay.
Born in Sisseton, so I'm a native South Dakotan. Born in Sisseton, South Dakota. Lived there for the first 10 years of my life. My parents then decided to move to Huron. My dad was an optometrist, mom was a nurse. So we moved to Huron, graduated from high school there in 1975, and then went to SDSU. Graduated from pharmacy school in 1981, and August of that year moved to Chamberlain, and I have been here ever since.
Okay.
So I'm involved in a lot of things. Of course, I am currently the chief pharmacist at Lewis. Mm-hmm. I worked for Terry and Sharon Casey for 31 years, and I've been with Lewis here now. I'll be starting my 8th year January 1st.
Awesome. It's been here 8 years already?
It has nearly been 8 years.
Seriously?
Yes.
Wow, time flies, I guess.
Yes, it does.
So, you've been in the community for a while, and obviously you're a deacon at one of the churches.
Yes.
And you've done some other community projects. And the big one we're talking about this week is obviously Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Everyone's stoked about dinner.
Yes.
So this is the Community Thanksgiving Dinner? Is that the official?
I guess that's the official title, yes.
Okay, so let's just start from the very beginning. What is the dinner? Who's it for?
Okay. All right.
What the price would be, all that good stuff.
Okay, so let me give you a little history on the dinner. So before I even thought about becoming a deacon, there was a priest at the Catholic Church, Father Guy Blair, who had this idea of we need to do something for the community. Mm-hmm. And so he wanted to do this community Thanksgiving thing, and so we did a dinner at the church, at the parish center. And it was very well received. And so 2 years while he was here, we had that dinner, and then he was transferred.
Okay.
And so there were a couple of years in there, and then at that point, I was in diaconal formation, and I was ordained May 28th, 2015. And that first year of being a deacon, you're a little nervous, and things are happening, and you're learning, and so I didn't really think about this endeavor, but somebody approached me the following year and said, we really need to reinstitute the community Thanksgiving meal. And I said, yes, I think that's a good idea. And I really didn't want to be the chairperson, mm-hmm. but I decided if it was going to happen, I needed to be the chairperson. And so I began and started the groundwork, and there's some tax things you have to do, set up a bank account. So that very first year, 2016, we did a blanket mailing to all the merchants asking them for a monetary donation. Mm-hmm. And so they all, many merchants donated, and I think we had a bank account around $1,800 to start. And that first year, we really needed to have some money because we had to buy certain supplies and things.
Sure.
Also, on top of that, those very same merchants, many of them, donated food and kitchen supplies and all of the things it takes to put on a event of this magnitude.
Sure. I suppose there's a lot of little pieces you don't really think about until the wheels are in motion. And
So the one thing I remember the very first year is we come in Thanksgiving morning, and Danita Allen says to me, what are we going to keep the food in? So we didn't have those kitchen devices known as food chafers and food warmers and all that stuff. And this is Thanksgiving Day morning at like 7 a.m. and I'm frantic. But I called Ron Madison, and by 8 o'clock we had all of that stuff that you need to put on keep the food warm and serve people. And so it's been a learning situation, but now we're in year 4.
You're a pro at this now.
No, but things are going a lot more smoothly.
We did talk a little bit about the history of the event and some of the volunteers and community members that help out. So this year, for 2019, what can we expect in terms of the time the dinner starts, who can attend, some of the basic information?
Okay, so the dinner is open to everyone. It's at the Chamberlain Community Center, also known as the City Hall. Right here at this very recording location. One of the thoughts I had when we were having it at the church was that there would be some people that might be uncomfortable coming to a church, even to eat a free meal. And so we wanted to make it as politically friendly as possible so that no one would feel excluded. And that is really the intent of this meal, that anyone that wants to come to the meal can come. And so it's Thanksgiving Day, that's when we do it. And we start serving at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, we typically try not to start any time before, but we certainly allow people to sit and enjoy the conversation and the food after 2 o'clock. We also do deliveries. We try to deliver to the homebound. I'm currently in the process of taking names, numbers, number of meals for the homebound. We also try to deliver to people that are working in the gas stations and say the assisted living centers, the jail, anybody that has a job, the hospital, although they have a cafeteria that I think provides a Thanksgiving meal. But anybody that is in need of a traditional Thanksgiving meal, that day we try to serve.
That's awesome. I didn't even think about it. You can bring it to people that have to work, those necessary functions.
Yes.
Every single day, the EMS guys.
Yeah, those people, everybody. The other thing that we started offering last year is a ride for people, because we're not only offering you a free meal, but we want it to feel like you're a part of a family. Even if it's your community family, we want you to feel that at least for the meal and some time after and before, that you can spend some time with your friends and community members in fellowship and enjoying a meal and conversation rather than just eating at home. So we do offer rides to the center as well.
Perfect. So you're delivering food, you're hosting a large event in this big room in the community center. You're preparing food ahead of time. How do you start all this planning? When does the planning actually start? And kind of maybe walk us through kind of the streamlined version of how that all comes together.
Okay, so the planning has gotten easier over the years.
Sure.
Okay, so you have a routine. I keep a very detailed schedule of events from year to year. And so I usually start about mid to late September contacting the food vendors. That is those people that provide the big basic necessities. And I'm going to name some of them because they have done this year after year. So Chamberlain Food Center, they are the providers of the turkey. So the turkey is, and they donate the turkey at no charge, sliced, delivered, and this year I believe we're at 180 pounds of turkey that is going to be sliced and delivered to the community center by 10:30 a.m.
Wow.
And then I also purchase some other supplies from them. We get milk and mashed potatoes, frozen mashed potatoes that we boil, that are delicious. They taste just like regular mashed potatoes, so we're very happy. We try to provide a very traditional home-cooked meal. And there are some other supplies I buy from them. I also go over to Sunshine Food, and Chuck Selland over there furnishes the hams, so Sunshine furnishes the hams at no charge to us, also sliced. This year, Pat Kerwin, who works over at Al's Cafe, is going to prepare those hams for me at the cafe and also provide the green bean dish at no charge. And so Al's Cafe has provided the green bean dish for years, and I also buy some other supplies like Cool Whip, and there are a few other things I buy from Sunshine Grocery. So we've got those covered. Ron Madison at Arrowwood Cedar Shore is fantastic. He supplies me with all of these necessary food devices, the food warmers, the food chafers, the gravy warmers, the ladles, all of the things to keep food safe, hot, and on the serving line. And so those basic vendors, I just a shout out, a kudos for their tremendous generosity year after year after year. Ron Madison also donates this hunting bus basically to go pick up people. I have to also give a shout out to Paul Cozine, who takes the Rocks bus, and he is my delivery driver, so he is the one that takes deliveries to all the homebound and to all the people that are working. And so that process does start mid to late September when I contact these people and ask for their donations. You know, I missed a couple, though, that I actually would like to throw in as well. I have Michelle at the Subway, who donates between 100 and 150 juice boxes. And I have Margie down at the Anchor that donates these hors d'oeuvre trays, these big food hors d'oeuvre trays. Now, I've cut back down because last year she donated 5 large trays, which was way too much with all the other food that we have.
Right.
So that's the beginning process. Then I have a committee that has certain tasks that they do. So Hannah Ruhlman, she is my advertising director. She gets all the brochures printed. She gets all the Facebook stuff, which I'm not really good at, out. She does a lot of contact for me. Melissa Reinhardt at the bank takes care of a lot of the banking things, takes care of some of my lists. Between she and I, we take also reservations for the day.
Okay.
And so if people want to reserve time, we ask them to do it at the beginning of the meal, so at 11 a.m. to 11:30, quarter to 12, so that we aren't tying up tables down the road when people are arriving, and we want to be able to serve people in an efficient manner.
Sure.
So Melissa takes care of a lot of those details for me. And then Yvette McKee just purchased a bunch of door prizes. So we have door prizes for all ages, male, female, children, adult, that we are going to do something a little differently this year. We're going to have a drawing probably every half hour to 45 minutes.
Oh, very cool.
So that somebody will get recognized and get to take a door prize home as well. We offered in the past last year like a daycare, so to speak, where we had games for the young kids, and I'm still trying to find somebody to volunteer for this room we're in right here to come and entertain the young kids so the adults can sit in the other room and visit and spend some time just sharing.
Hanging out.
Hanging out.
Awesome. So you did mention reservations.
Yes.
This is just a good time to discuss this in general. Where can interested parties go to receive more information, or who can they get in contact?
Well, so Facebook, if you're a technology guru, you can look at Facebook, and a lot of the information is on the Community Thanksgiving page.
Okay.
They can contact me on my cell phone, 605-680-2868, if they wish to either make reservations or they want food delivered.
Okay.
They can also contact Melissa Reinhardt at Wells Fargo Bank for those types of situations.
Perfect.
And we'll combine our lists probably that Wednesday.
Okay.
And they're free to call me the day of. I I have Wednesday off, so I spend that entire day laying the groundwork, getting things ready so that we're up and running Thursday morning.
Perfect. So, Jim, that really wraps up all the questions I had. Do you have anything else to add before we wrap it up?
Just, I would say, welcome to one and all. Families, it doesn't matter. We welcome anybody that maybe wants to take a year off from preparing a traditional Thanksgiving meal and still get to eat one. You don't have to do the cleanup. All you need to do is come and enjoy. There's no charge. We actually request that most people please don't feel obligated to give us any money. If you have some urgent need to give something, give non-perishable food supplies, and we will give them to the food pantry so that no one feels excluded from this event.
Perfect. Well, Jim, sounds like a great event. I'll probably definitely swing by and check it out. And
good.
Wish you and the volunteers all the best.
Thank you very much.
All right. We will see you in December. Thank you for stopping by and have a great Thanksgiving. Jim, take care.
Thank you much.
Hey, thanks for sticking around and joining us for yet another edition of the Monday News Brief brought to you by CDTTV, a part of the Central Dakota Times. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more of what we have to offer, please feel free to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Central Dakota Times Newspaper. Like us on Facebook by searching Central Dakota Times and checking out our website, www.centraldakotatimes.org. And as always, be sure to pick up your very own copy of the Central Dakota Times every Wednesday mornings wherever newspapers are sold in Central South Dakota. From all of us at Central Dakota Times, we wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week.